Okay, welcome back. So for this video, part 12, we took the brand new model file that we created in part 11, and we have pasted it, copy of it in part 12. And the last time that we actually worked with what we've been seeing, the UI that we've seen with the voice, we pasted it here in part 10. So now I want to ask both Gemini and ChatGPT to help us fold in or use this file, this helper file, this model file in what we've been doing. If you remember part 10, when we were going to create the model file, right? We said we're going to treat it like a black box. So I'm going to show you what that means now. Here is a prompt that I gave both of them, and they both responded the same way. So I said, take this code, which was the model file code that we did last time, right? And just list the function signatures that are required to be known to any parent UI project. So this is it. So what that means is these are the inputs and out, and the results, like a black box that we care about from the viewpoint of our voice recognition project. We don't care about the code in any of this. We just care that we use these functions, and that's how we treat it as a black box. Now, I'm also going to ask the AI tools to treat it as a black box. So you'll see. First thing I'm going to do is, since this file is our main project file is getting too big, I'm going to go past the styling, past the UI stuff that we see, all the elements that we actually see on the page, and go straight to the script tag, highlight that, page down to the bottom right here, copy that, and I'm going to hand that to each of the tools with a prompt. Now, since I don't trust them and I've just seen too much, I'd like spoon feed them. So I'm going to say to both of them, remember this list exactly. Okay, you're going to want to remember what I point out here because we're going to, for what we're going to do next with the AI tools. So if you remember, at any point, I can decide to say a phrase that has to do, with one of these. This is a test, hello, goodbye, whatever. And every time I stop speaking, not the model, but our current project has recorded what I spoke and created all of these input features, right? Now, if I'm interested in an actual phrase, so let me just demonstrate. I'm going to stop talking, and then I'm going to say this is a test. This is a test. And I froze it. So now it's not capturing anything. All right. We want the AI tools to essentially do this. When we say one of the phrases, click the freeze button so that it can take these values, pass them into the model, have the model guess, and then it's going to guess, is it one of these, right? And then we're going to tell it which is the correct one. Okay, so here is our project code from script tag to script tag, and here is the prompts that we're going to give to the tools, right? Give me back the full script with the absolute minimal changes, add in the model function calls that are required. Create or initialize the model based on the current input features and output labels, which would be the training buttons, right? The 6 training buttons. This is a test, hello, goodbye, etc. Once a voice recording has been made and all the features have been determined, the user will click the freeze button. When the user clicks the freeze button, make the prediction. Now tell us, what should we call in DevTools? So we're not going to see this visually yet. That will tell the model which was the correct button and have the model train. All right, so this is all the prompts that I've been giving the AI tools. You can have those later after I post the video. This is our model file, the code. This is from part 10, and we made a few changes, so we're going to compare these two now. Okay, part 10 on the left, the changes on the right. This is, again, if you're confused, this is what we visually see, what we've been working with the whole time for this entire series. So let's keep going. It should only be in the code. So this has to do with collecting the input features, all of the stuff that gets decided that, hey, yeah, this is an actual phrase. So that's that. What else we have here? All right, so in here, start mic. So when we first start the program and it starts setting up the input stream, it starts the microphone and all that, by that time it knows, okay, we better create a model. So the model is right here. So this is our first model file function call right here. And it's saying we have 50 input features. We have 6 output features because the buttons, and the rest of it doesn't really matter. So that's our latest version of the code. Right here is where we process the audio. So once we have spoken and hit the freeze button or not, and this is where it processes the audio and determines all the different, max volume, how many intervals of quiet, that whole mess that we've been talking about, that's all this. This is what's new. It collects all that into latest input features. Okay. It is when we hit the freeze button and it turns red that it tells if it's frozen, if the freeze button is frozen, it tells the model predict. So based on what I just said, make a prediction, give me the top score, and that's it. And then we're going to manually train it. Okay, we're ready to go. And so let's record. Now, remember, it only makes a difference when I hit the freeze button. So I'm going to stop, then I'm going to say, this is a test, hit the freeze button, and then we'll actually, first, let me show you something. Inspect, because we're going to be working in here just for now. All right. Let me move this over. Can I move this over at all? Yes, the freeze button, because we need the freeze button here. Okay. And console. All right, here we go. This is a test. So notice, I don't know if you can even see it. Can you see that over here? Can you see that? It says prediction button 1. Okay, so it got lucky, but actually it's not even trained. Look, the values are zeros. So we have to tell it it's button 1. But what button 1 is button 0 in code. So I'm saying train the model and it's button 0. Okay, let's clear that. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to say hello. So here we go. Hello. And then we tell it that's button 1, which is button 2. Sorry, but now notice there's a value. It did establish a value for button 1. It was 0 before. Anyway, we come here, we go 1 and clear it. And then I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye. And I'm going to say that's 0, 1, 2. So that's 2. Okay. And now it has values for button 1 and button 2. This is what it would do behind the scenes, but we're now going to wire it up so that we don't have to sit here and call train model with the number position. We're going to wire this so that when we click the right button, it's going to do this for us. But that'll be next time.